Why is the gun control topic so controversial? Mainly this is because many people have misconceptions about people who own guns and people who have guns in their house. Now, Richard Poe writes an article, it's called 7 Myths of Gun Control. And a couple of these myths are that, number one, if you're a victim and there's a criminal in your house, you're actually going to hurt yourself more by using a firearm to defend yourself than you're actually hurting the criminal. Another misconception is that children pose a serious threat to people who own firearms because they can hurt themselves or mess around with a gun and misfire it. Now, using a gun is part of the Second Amendment, which is the right to bear arms, and we use this law to protect ourselves, and we use it to protect our loved ones as well, because criminals, they don't care if there's a gun ban or not. They're still going to use a gun that they got off the black market or something, and they're going to still try to rob you and try to take your money and possibly your life. Now, policemen won't be around any second you need them on the spot, because they're so far away from reach. And when seconds count, your best bet is to actually have to defend yourself for the time being, because worst case scenario, without a gun or without any protection at all, the policeman will arrive at the crime scene. Now, throughout history, the most violent criminals have been the ones in power, and an unarmed populace is an invitation to dictatorship. This is also a quote by Richard Poe, and what this means is that if you don't step up to the plate and if you don't arise and you have to defend yourself with a weapon, the criminals are just going to take advantage of that, and they're going to kill you if they have to steal your money or your valuables, and they're going to take away the lives of your loved ones. And I wouldn't want that happen to me. Now, in DC, a few years back, there was a ban that was a 30-year ban on gun control. And when they did this, mainly the crime rate did increase because no one had any weapons to protect themselves with. And they couldn't have a gun on them every time that they were walking around the streets. Anytime that a criminal could come up to them and say, "Hey, give me your money." So the crime rate definitely increased at that time. And after they took out the ban, many people were upset because they related guns directly to murders and homicides and suicides. So also, what they don't know is that after they took off the ban, the crime rate decreased dramatically. And also there's a city in Georgia, it's called Kennesaw. And what they did was they required every home to have a firearm so that they can protect themselves at any time. And it must have worked, because there hasn't been much crime in that area since they passed that law that you have to have a gun in every household, because they don't want to go inside a house. They know that the victims could be armed, and that they're scared because they know a police won't shoot unless they shoot. So that's the biggest scare that a criminal has, is going into an unknown house that they know that they're going to protect themselves at no cost, at any cost that they need to. So John Stossel, he's an anchor at NBC. He interviewed a few people back in 2009, and he interviewed there were about 2 people who lost loved ones because they couldn't act and they couldn't shoot because they had their guns in their cars and they couldn't have it on them because of the gun control. And basically they lost loved ones because of that. And we had one man who actually defended his daughter just by showing his gun. And when the criminal saw that, he fled. So that evil prevails when good men do nothing. That means that criminals will act and they will do whatever they have to because they know that the victim is not going to act back. So they're obviously going to take over that way. So there's always going to be criminals who want to hurt us. They're going to want to do the worst damage they can to take whatever they need, right? And guns do not kill people. The main thing that kills people, the only thing that kills people, is people. Because you can kill someone with anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be a gun. And it's the intention of the person that you have to look out for, because you have to defend yourself and your loved ones. That's why you have a gun. So I think that the gun control, it should it should be taken out and it should be left out because we have to defend ourselves. It's the basic right for defense. And when seconds count, we must take actions to arise and defend the ones that we love. And that's what I'm going to be doing. So that's why I'm not in favor for the gun control. Thank you.